Good evening. Weather First meteorologist Gary Frank here as we look ahead to our severe weather threat. I want to talk about what's going on tonight because as you prepare to get ready for Monday, going back to work or school, you wake up in the middle of the night and check the weather. I just want to keep you posted here because I think we're going to be in pretty good shape here into the overnight hours. Look outside, it's quiet, right? What we did monitor earlier, and you can really see this specifically, was where these storms were developing along this front. And as I put this into the full screen, just to show you specifically where this front is, this is where we talked about why we're not going to see too much rain tonight. And it's specifically right along this front. You can see where that wind direction shift is and how these storms are kind of riding the edge of this front. And as a result, that's why we're not really seeing much in the way of storm development here. And you can see where this slight risk has shifted completely out of our area, and even the marginal risk, of course, that has been lifted from the city of St. Louis, but most of our areas completely. So you can go to bed kind of not worrying too much about severe weather tonight, at least. I think tomorrow night, totally different story, but that front will play a major factor. As we look downtown, Flag's still moving at a pretty good pace. We're back in that south-southwest breeze. It's still 75 degrees just before 10 o'clock. So pretty significant warmth. Humidity is picking up as well. And what we'll see into the overnight hours just to prove this, cloud cover, maybe a few showers. I don't really expect much. We'll stop this at 6 o'clock in the morning because I don't expect much to happen. We're going to stay in the mid-60s. It's cloudy. We have that south breeze. We're not going to drop all that much tonight, but look at the big picture, and you can see where this front is. Obviously, I just kind of mentioned where it is specifically, but look what's behind it, 50, even 58, and it's this little nudge right here that we're going to continue to focus on. This is where the storm development will be. We have the surface low that's going to start to get enhanced, and you'll really see that here on our visible satellite and infrared here. Just a different look at the product here from where these storms that I just showed you are as they ride that warm front. And now we have this deep area of moisture and this wind that continues to really enhance what we have going on locally at the surface and behind that cold front. And that's what we'll watch over the next few hours. There's where that storm is, just to kind of show you what that looks like when it comes to cloud cover. There are breaks in the clouds, but there's also a lot of moisture, and that moisture is going to play a key factor in what we get tomorrow. Now, our severe weather outlook remains. We're in category 3 of 5 from the Storm Prediction Center. This is called an enhanced risk. There are a couple of things, and this is also an area that is going to be highlighted for the possibility of tornadoes, wind gusts, and large hail. But not everything is going to happen if we see certain things set up. Now, we're wondering about where this front is going to be. Is it a little further north? I just showed you where it is now. As it moves further south, the position of that front is going to play a big key factor because it's going to interact with some of that wind and also the secondary line of storms. Create some of that twisting. We also want to see whether or not we're going to see clouds in the morning, because I think the first part of the day we'll have clouds, maybe a few showers. Anthony will be tracking, but it's not out of the question that we'll see a few showers kind of hang around. Do those hold together? Do they stay around? Do they kind of rain in multiple areas? Because if they do, things are cooler. Kind of the atmosphere is essentially worked over and it's a little bit more stable. That means severe weather development isn't as favorable, at least for the first part of the day. If none of this happens, we have clouds, we have breaks in the clouds at times, then, the secondary line, as that cold front settles in, will actually provide a better opportunity for some really strong storms. So let's talk about tomorrow, because we'll start off with clouds, sprinkles. Our temps work their way into the mid to upper 70s with cloud cover, chances of rain around. You'll know it's very hit and miss here at this point. That's not where I think the main show is going to be. It's the second part of the day. And let's talk about a couple of scenarios, because early clouds, the first scenario, early clouds and rain linger. Well, if that happens, well, the atmosphere is a bit more stable as a result, so it's not as favorable for severe weather development, but the lower end wind gusts and small hail threat will still be a factor late. Now, if scenario number 2 sets up with the breaks in the clouds, the sun is out, atmosphere becomes more unstable there, it's hot, it's humid, that's where we start to see those storms that develop ahead of that front. And then the tornado and hail threat goes up. And that's what we're going to have to watch out for tomorrow. So even in the overnight hours and tomorrow, but this is how I think it's going to set up, because I do expect that we'll see some rain, but not everywhere getting rain the first part of the day. So then the second half of it, we start to see a few of those storms that develop that could have some of that rotation and some larger hail with them. Then as that main line moves through, this is much later, 9, 10, 11 o'clock, eventually moves through, and that's where I think we're going to see some issues. So Monday is our next weather alert day. It's just how many clouds and rain are going to be with us early. The main front is the main show, and I think that's closer to sunset or maybe beyond, as all types of severe weather are possible if that is the case. Anthony will have an update for you in the morning. 78, temps fall with showers lingering on Tuesday, and then we dry out the rest of the week. But it's something I don't think you need to worry about overnight, but I just want you to plan ahead as we get closer to the second half of the day on Monday.